Hey everybody, welcome to a live stream. My name is Chris. I'm your host. I'm the artist here. And one thing I like to do on this channel every once in a while is just live stream. Not presenting myself necessarily as a professional or an expert or a teacher, but I am always on a journey to try to become a better artist. I enjoy drawing, and so I like to do these live streams from time to time. What I'm doing tonight is part of Inktober, an annual event where you draw something in ink every day. There are official prompts, and the prompt today was ride. Made me think of the Headless Horseman. So I was working on a sketch that I then have lightboxed, and so what I'm going to do now is try to ink this relatively clean line work. Hello, Retro. Hello, Iron Shell. We've got some folks filtering into the chat room. I always have a chat room open so that folks can ask questions. Maybe we can get a conversation about something started. Hello, Daniel. Very happy to have you guys here. Thank you so much. Man, I'm tired. It has been a very long day for me. Let's see, what time is it exactly? Do I have my phone? I think I do. Hello, James. Okay, so it's like 10 past 10 on my time. So pretty late in the evening. I worked today, so there was that. But before I even had my alarm go off in the morning to get ready for work, my cats happened to wake me up beforehand. My cat, Little Bean, was all just sort of wound up. He just kept sort of running all over me in bed and going, meow, meow. He just wanted to play. He wanted to play. So he woke me up, and that's okay. But it was like almost 1 hour, like a little more, but like basically an hour before my alarm goes off. And at that point, you're like, well, it's like almost impossible to get back to sleep within that hour. And even as soon as you do, then you have to wake right up, for your alarm. So I got up an hour, like a little over an hour early today. Went through a full day of work. Right after work, I hosted a short film that I had a small role in. But I wasn't like the main star, but my friend just was premiering it at like a local movie theater. And it was a great turnout, full to capacity, the theater was, so I was happy about that. And I played host. I introduced the movie. I did some horror movie trivia with the audience and gave out prizes and had a costume contest, a few other things. So I've done all that so far today, been up early, worked, hosted this movie, and then I was like, I've still got this to go. Like, this day ain't over yet. So it's been a long day is all I can say. But a few more folks jumping into the chat. Hello, peeps. What we got here? We've got Brian, Jeff, no, Terry, and James Gleason. We've got the Snark, Sheldon, and Beowulf, and James. Did I give out any of my drawings as a prize? No, I left that up to my friend Martin, who wrote and directed the movie. Hello, Najiode. Hello, Elmer. He provided a couple prizes, just like basically candy, and then like some gift certificates to various like restaurants and things like that. So still fun to do. There were 2 questions in my horror movie trivia that no one could answer. So I'll ask them here, and if anyone here can answer it, you win the recognition of your peers. You win like that we all go, oh, that person knows. So don't look it up, but whoever, let me ask the full question, and then whoever answers first, I'll just go, yep, you got it. So let me pull it up, because I had these trivia questions, and I'm trying to find them here, because I had it all listed. Bear with me. What did they not get? Okay, they got that. Okay. In the movie Christine, written by Stephen King, directed by John Carpenter, it's about a car that kills people. You don't need to know the year, but what is the make and model of the car that is the killer in the movie Christine? The make and model. First person to get it. Yeah, you win a no prize. Try not to look it up. I just want to see if anybody can get it. Maybe, is that too hard a question? It was not an '03 Tesla. That's an interesting guess. British Taxi. It was not a Cadillac. Somebody there guessed it. It was not an Avalon. It's about 40 years older than that, Beowulf. Excuse me, I got like popcorn or something. Hello, Gene. Hello, Uros. Hello, It's McGee. Hello, Iron Shell. Plymouth Fury. You got it. It was not a Chevelle. It was a Plymouth Fury. Technically, while it was written to be a Plymouth Fury, the Plymouth Fury is sort of a submodel of the Plymouth Belvedere. This is getting into really nerdy car trivia. So I would have accepted Plymouth Belvedere or Plymouth Fury. It was not a Subaru. It was not a Challenger. No. You get the no prize. That's totally appropriate. You get no prize. No. And here's the second one that I asked. Where is it? Oh shoot! I think I actually just hit delete by accident. Okay, but I remember it. I remember what the question was. I'm looking for the name. The answer to this is going to be the name of a real-life serial killer. The name of this serial killer, or this serial killer, loosely inspired 3 horror movies: Psycho, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Silence of the Lambs. Who is the serial killer I'm talking about? Let's see if anybody can get that. Try not to look it up. Just see if you can guess. Ed Gein. James Gleason got it. So did James Stewart, Jorge Diaz, Raul Julia, Beowulf, Uros, and no. Bunch of you knew that. Yep. Okay, now everybody's joining in. But those are some very fast answers. The Snark and Terry. Yep. So those were... So I feel like, okay, the Ed Gein one, then a lot of you got that. Nobody in the theater could get that one. I waited, and people were like throwing out guesses, and I'm like, no, sorry, it wasn't that. No, it wasn't that. Okay, fair enough. No one wins that one. The rest of the questions I asked, people could all get, but they couldn't get that one or the car from Christine. The reason I asked that, a lot of my coworkers were there. My friend Martin that made the movie works with me, so a lot of us are car salesmen. I go, all right, there's a good chance that like I could ask a car-related horror movie question. I thought that they'd get it. I was wrong, but you know what? I'm a big horror movie nerd. I guess I got too deep into the weeds there for like a general audience. Whoops. Don't worry, Captain Negativity. You're here basically right at the beginning. So anyway, but that was fun. That was a lot of fun tonight to play host and do that, and I had a good time. And the movie, in case any of you are curious, will be debuting tomorrow night on YouTube, so anyone can see it. It's just a short film. No professionals really, like working on it. Just a bunch of people that were like passionate, and I have a very small role in it, just 2 quick little scenes throughout the movie. So don't tune in just for me necessarily. But it'll debut at 8 p.m. Pacific time tomorrow. So I'll get a link to that and tweet it on the Comic Tropes Twitter, at Comic Tropes, or at C Tropes, I guess. Do you say, oh, hi? I don't. Hello, Sigmigs. Code Blue, huh? Let's see. Hi, Chris. I'm from Argentina, and yesterday I watched your episode on El Tornata. I have to say you painted a very accurate picture on our most treasured comic. Thank you. Well, I'm glad to hear that you felt so. You would know better than I. I just wanted to talk about what I consider an important comic and a good read that I don't think tons of people here in America necessarily know about. But it has been released here. I think it got a gorgeous release, and was definitely a book that I was happy to discuss and share. It's not every day you see like a book that's so political that's still something that almost everyone can enjoy. So it's something special. Yeah, the Headless Horseman, Gene. I've seen at least the first Hostel movie, Iron Shell. Didn't really love it. Felt kind of mean spirited. Like it didn't give the protagonists a very fair chance to, escape a horrible fate. It was like it was just gonna like happen to them no matter what they did. So I didn't love it. Ever been to Sleepy Hollow? No, I've never been to an actual place called Sleepy Hollow. How does this guy ride a horse with no head? Magic. How does he do anything without a head? I don't know, but he's a great singer. That I think we can all agree on. The Lone Ranger, headless. The horse knows the way. Gene's got it. Yeah, it's all about the horse. The Headless Horseman can't do anything, but he's got the best horse in the world. I like that. What do you think of people who say graphic novel instead of comic book? Do you think it's pretentious? No, I don't think it's pretentious. I just do think that like the terms are interchangeable. I think that like it's got slightly overused for a while throughout the late '80s, but I think it works fine as a term. I understand the goal behind it. Uh, no, it doesn't bother me. I don't watch The Great Pumpkin every year, but I do like it. I do like it. I just, well, at this point, I don't even have TV. I haven't for a while, so, yeah. I don't really catch any specials. I've got a couple streaming services, and that's plenty. I've got Netflix, Amazon Prime, and now Disney Plus. Yeah, I agree with you, Urus. He says the Headless Horseman is simultaneously incredibly goofy and incredibly terrifying. The idea of somebody running around without their head is definitely a disturbing idea. It looks weird and therefore a little silly, but the actual visual of it is definitely disturbing. We don't have too many. We have a few, but we don't have tons of old myths here in America. So the Legend of Sleepy Hollow is one of our few. Uh, but we don't have tons of them. Am I hyped for season 2 of The Boys? Yeah, definitely. I keep thinking of Chris in a pinstripe blue suit selling '50s car in a mid '70s LA area. That's me. Wait, somebody won something and I just missed it. I definitely want to see Jojo Rabbit, Jorge. I definitely want to. Some people are telling compared congrats. I guess he's the one that won something, and I just missed it before it disappeared. How was the movie? I didn't catch the very beginning. Did you already say? What movie? I didn't see any movies lately, Jeannie. Unless you're talking about Jojo Rabbit. But I haven't... Did you see Jojo Rabbit, Gene? Oh, the movie that I hosted! Yeah, it was pretty good. Keep in mind, it's done by amateurs and everything. But so, is it like amazing, like all the way from beginning to end? I don't know. That might be overstating it. I don't want to like hype it up too much. But is it good? Yeah. I mean, it's 17 minutes. It's like sort of a proof of concept. There's definitely several scenes that are effective. Throughout, I thought that the music and sound design was really well done, and the video itself, the cinematography, was really, really good. So, like, it had that going for it throughout. Let's see. Oh, compared one an Xbox from Taco Bell. Hey, that's kind of exciting. Congratulations. That's really, really cool. That's always exciting to hear somebody like win a big prize like that. Yeah. You sort of wonder like who are the people that win that stuff? Can it really be real? But there you go. Now we sort of all have been in touch with somebody that's won one of those prizes. So I guess it's real. A free Xbox. Nothing wrong with that. That's really wonderful. Congratulations. Let's see. Other than the Disney cartoon and Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow, is there any other version of Headless Horseman worth seeing? I would say the first season of the show Sleepy Hollow on Fox, but it got bad, unfortunately. So, like, do you want to get into it? Maybe not. But the idea was pretty cool. It had like Ichabod Crane getting like stabbed by the Headless Horseman and like waking up in modern day. And the Headless Horseman, it turns out, is one of the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. So that's kind of a fun idea. And the Headless Horseman, like, runs around with, he ditches his axe for, like, modern-day assault rifles and stuff. So that was kind of fun. Like, the first season was really good, and it had a lot going for it, but the showrunners completely lost track of things after a while. And it did fall apart. But the actors were good, and it's one season of a good show. It's just that it doesn't like really have closure because it's building its mythology, and it just doesn't go anywhere. How did it go wrong? They tried to like build out the mythology, and as soon as they got into like the other sort of like horsemen and stuff, like the horsemen of like war and stuff like that, they just the mythology got really unwieldy really fast, and they kept trying to like rope it all into like very personal takes on the that was all tied to Ichabod Crane because he was a main character, and it just started to feel really forced. And then like the final season, they like let go like one of the main actress, and like their chemistry was the most interesting thing. So it just didn't really have a long-term plan in it. It didn't seem. I don't know how they didn't, but it's funny. I mean, I really think that like first season and the pilot especially is a really good pilot. They've got Clancy Brown in there and John Cho, so they've got like some pretty good actors that like character actors and stuff that have been in a bunch of good things, but it all fell apart. Yeah. Just somebody had asked, like, was there another good take on Sleepy Hollow or the Headless Horseman? And that's all I can really think of in terms of something kind of interesting. Nothing else leaps to mind as a good take with the material, unless somebody else can think of one. Gonna sneeze, I think. I've seen the Cube movies. I like the idea of the Cube movies more than the execution, but the first one's pretty decent. It starts to lose me when it like basically starts building on its math. It's like to figure out the way out, we just need to like get the square root of the codifferential and like figure out the derivatives of this. I'm like, I believe you, but I'm not following. What do I think of the Tim Burton movie? I kind of like the Tim Burton movie. I think it's a pretty fun one. I think that Sleepy Hollow movie's kind of a blast. It's definitely different. I mean, it recasts Ichabod Crane. Instead of being like a cowardly school teacher, he's all of a sudden this what do you call it, like a forensic scientist from England, but it works. I mean, he's still a little like he's more awkward than like a coward, so it sort of loses some of that. Yeah, the book's good. Sig Knight asked if I've seen Good Omens by Neil Gaiman, and I haven't. No. I do like both Michael Sheen and of course David Tennant as actors, so I like that. I don't know why I didn't watch it. It just didn't seem like it was quite up my alley for some reason. Ray Park played the Horseman. Yep. Random question here. Have you ever read or heard of the Steven Universe Fusion Guidebook? No, I don't know what that is. I've heard of Steven Universe, but I haven't seen it, so I definitely don't know what the Fusion Guidebook is. Sorry. All I know is that it's a critically acclaimed kids cartoon, or like at least it's on something like, the Cartoon Network, maybe. I think. I hope I've got that part right. I don't think it's a Disney show, so it must be on the Cartoon Network. About all I know. Who should direct a Sandman movie? David Lynch. I don't know how you could convince him to do it, but he'd probably do an amazing job on material like that. Did I see Dress Up? No, what's Dress Up about? Is it a horse movie? Is it all about, like, dressage or something? Dennis Villeneuve. Yeah, he could do a good job on Sandman, sure. Tim Burton for Sandman? Oh, did I dress up? Yes, I did. I dressed up as Cobra Commander. Costumes were encouraged this evening at the movie that I hosted. And so I just wanted, obviously I was not eligible for winning a prize, but I wanted to help make everybody feel at home and join in the spooky season fun. And I had this full Cobra Commander costume that I've never had a chance to wear before, so I wore it tonight. Some of you may remember that over the summer I did a G.I. Joe episode this year, and I had Cobra Commander as a guest. And while I had a helmet, like the costume was just a t-shirt. Well, I had actually ordered a full nice costume, and then the company that made it said, oh, it's going to take us 6 to 8 weeks, not 2 to 3 days. I said, no problem, understand, but cancel it. They said, yep, we'll do. I never got charged, but then all of a sudden, 6 to 8 weeks later, it actually did show up. So I've got this costume that showed up too late for my video, but I've just got. So I was like, all right, I'll wear it tonight. Devil man eyes. That sounds like a tricky thing. I did not do the voice. I didn't wear. I had the full like uniform and everything. It was like several. It was pretty elaborate, but I didn't wear the hood or anything because, as I said, I was the host, so I needed that to be clear. So it's more like a partial costume, I guess you could say. Cobra! Any other good costumes there? There were several. There was a little girl dressed up as Little Red Riding Hood who says that she watches my YouTube show, so that was definitely like flattering. I said thank you. And what else was cool? There was a good Wednesday Addams. There was a Latina girl that like sort of had like Day of the Dead Sugar Skull type decor all over her that was really impressive. There was a guy that was like a referee, but he was blind. That was a little bit funny as far as like silly goof costumes go. There was then like some of the ones that I picked. I picked 3 out of the crowd that I thought looked good that were in the running for best costume of the night. Thank you, first of all, to Lazy Cat Comics. I would definitely consider doing an episode on Brian Lee O'Malley. Absolutely. I've picked up everything he's done. Definitely am interested in his work. There's stuff to say. So yeah, I would definitely consider doing an episode about that. There wasn't an Elvira, but like of the 3 costumes that I picked, there was one that was like, a witch. And I thought it was like a really well done costume. Looks like, it was made at home. There was a couple there that went as Lloyd and Harry from Dumb and Dumber when they wear that like orange and the pastel blue suits. And I thought that was kind of impressive. And so I had a witch, the couple, and then a guy in like a homemade Rambo suit with like a muscle suit underneath and like, a big mullety wig. And I liked all of those. And so like those are the people that got to like run for a costume, and they each got a prize. I don't know Snot Girl. Sorry, I don't know that one. James Gleason said he met Elvira once. You sound like the old Cobra Commander from Transformers. Yeah, exactly. They don't make terrorists like they used to. Cobra. Old Snake. I remember that episode. Almost Human, it was called. I remember that. And the whole time I was going like, boy, this guy sure sounds like Cobra Commander, and his faceplate looks like Cobra Commander, but they're not calling him Cobra Commander. And like I was just like, I guess it's just a coincidence. I was a kid, I didn't think about it. And then at the end, he starts to yell Cobra and coughs and hacks, so he can't quite complete it, because I guess they probably didn't have like the full rights. But I was like, oh my god, it was Cobra Commander! Whoa! So that was kind of cool. Put a little more sibilant in there and you have Sphinx, Commander. Sphinx. What do I think of the Saw films? I think they're entertaining. They're not great at all. They're not. But I kind of like them. I think that they're entertaining. I don't think they're quite as mean-spirited as stuff like Hostel. I think that like the characters in that usually have a little bit of a chance to escape the machinations of Jigsaw or whoever is working with Jigsaw. Just enough that I can like sort of go along with it, and they're at least creatively weird, like the traps and stuff. They're at least creatively weird, whereas Hostel is just people like using power tools to tear each other to pieces. And I was like, that's kind of depressing. They made too many Saw films? Well, yeah, they made too many as soon as the second one came out, but I watched them all. And I've seen them all in the theater, too. not not really something to be proud of, but I've seen all 8 of them in the movie theater. So when this ninth one comes out next year, I'll be seeing that one, too. Apparently, YouTube remembers what you say in chats for recommendations. I mentioned lesbians in relation to Steven Universe, and my recommends are now full of lesbians. Interesting. I liked Saw 2 more than the first one. Huh, interesting. Nah, I don't think any of them are really good movies, but I think that they're entertaining enough. Why did they sequelize every horror film to death? Because horror is cheap to make and it has a guaranteed audience. Horror is generally a very business-oriented move. They're some of the cheapest movies to make, and they turn in a healthy profit even if they're not that good. Yeah, I like Trick or Treat. Trick or Treat's a pretty good one. Trick or Treat's pretty good. Other than A Song of Fire, Ice and Fire, and Lord of the Rings, can I recommend any fantasy novel series? When I was a kid, I liked the Piers Anthony Xanth novels for the most part, but I think he made one too many, and they really started dropping off in quality at a certain point, and I don't know exactly when that was. I know I stayed with it too long is all. What else is good though? No. Got that song Come On Eileen stuck in my head. I just can't get it out. I don't even know where I heard it. I didn't pull it up in my personal playlist, but I must have heard it somewhere because it's really stuck in my head and has been for a couple hours now, at least. It's so weird when you like all of a sudden realize that there's a song playing in your head and you haven't really fully acknowledged it, and then all of a sudden you're like, wait a minute, why am I thinking of this? What music do you like? Yeah, I've talked about that a couple times. Let's see, what else? See you, Gerald. Thanks for jumping in. Wheel of Time. Yeah, a lot of people like Wheel of Time. Isn't that one... is Wheel of Time? No, The Golden Compass is what's being adapted by HBO next. Have I seen Naked Lunch? I have not. I'm aware of it, but I haven't seen it. I would be interested in seeing it at some point. tomorrow I have to draw a comics page for a friend, so tomorrow's probably going to be kind of a long, worky day, even though it's a day off of my job. I want to do a good job for him, so I think tomorrow's going to feel long. But I'll take some time out to draw something for this somewhere along the way. Hopefully I'll be pretty warmed up from doing the other work. I've never been able to get songs out of my head. No, it's like you have to like think of like a different song. Oh, Gene. Now I've got Baby Shark. All right. Well, yeah, that pretty much instantly got Come On Eileen out because now all I'm thinking of is Baby Shark. I was at Walmart a few days back, and we were walking past the toy aisle, and towards the end they had these Baby Shark plush animals, but that you could like put your hand in, so it was almost like a puppet to like, you know, move the mouth, and the song would sing as fast as you moved your hand, so it would go like Baby Shark do 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 do, Baby Shark do 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 do, Baby Shark, baby. It was pretty fun. I was like half tempted to get it, and I was like, no, this is amusing right now, but it'll probably lose its entertainment value very, very quickly. Don't start singing it. Let's see. The Snark is playing computer chess. I have not played Windows Chess Titans. I haven't, in general, played chess in a long time. I can't think. Like, the last time I played chess was probably right about 10 years ago or so. I had a friend at work that liked playing it a little bit at that point in time, so I played a little bit with him. But he was really good, and I don't know any strategy. I just know how the little pieces move, so I would try to make the best move that was right in front of me at the time. But, you know, he was a real chess player, so he's thinking, like, you know, 10 moves ahead. Wow. You drew a Headless Horseman 2 weeks ago? That's awesome. The only way I play chess is to make totally random moves while acting like I have a grand strategy the whole time. Yeah, just act with confidence. Totally confuse him. Are you sure you don't want to move your pawn there? The way I play chess is by not being good at it. Yeah, that's kind of my strategy. My strategy is just to go, hey, look at me, I'm playing chess. Oh my god, I'm playing chess. As though I'm like, you know, I don't know, balancing on something. Oh my god, look at me, I'm playing chess. Woo, Rick. I was helping somebody out with a car sale today, and everything was going like really, really well, but it was also taking a long time, and somebody else had already like done something with this guy like a few days before, so like that person started the interaction and was going to be eligible for a split, and the day just like kept getting longer and longer until I finally just had to tell him, like, you know, hey, I gotta leave in a little while. I've got a prior engagement because I was, you know, hosting the movie and all tonight, and I'd promised not just to see it but to host the evening, and so unfortunately I had to hand it off to a coworker, and I middled myself out. So even though I was close to getting a sale, I had to give it up for the movie tonight. Let's see, Naj Yod, or Dio John, says, gonna watch the 1932 movie. Cool. Then read Vinland Saga. Here's a 5. Thank you. Have a good one. Shout out to Captain Negativity for getting my TSOL reference. That made my day. That's so cool, dude. You're such a nice person. That's really nice. Let's see. Gene's saying boo, but if I was the president, I'd assume they're saying boo earns. No, sir. They're saying boo earns. Do I have a favorite female superhero? I've always really liked She-Hulk. And I think it's because most of the time when she's written, she's Jen Walters and she's a lawyer. She just happens to be in Hulk's body. And I've always felt like she was kind of a fun-loving superhero that, like, you know, just had a really good positive personality. I like She-Hulk. I don't know if she's definitely my favorite, but she's got to be up there no matter what. Mayday Parker. Yeah, I think that's a possibility for a future movie. Sure. Jack's saying he doesn't understand how the mummy killed anyone. He was so slow. Well, first of all, he also had supernatural powers, so, like, you know, he could cause, like, the plagues and stuff. But I think the idea with the mummy is very similar to the first few zombie movies, and that is that, like, death is always, it's a metaphor. Death is always slowly approaching all of us. All of us. But if you're smart, you can avoid it for a while. It's when you don't pay attention and you're dumb that it catches up to you and surprises you. So it just sort of works as like a metaphor, I think. She-Hulk is best as an intelligent Hulk, yeah. The Gamma Overload version is just to try something different for a little while, but I think eventually they'll go back to, you know, the She-Hulk that we all kind of know and love. So I'm not too stressed about that. That's what I've found with superheroes. I'm like, okay, if I don't like this one take on it, that doesn't ruin the character. That just tells me this writer had a different idea for the character, and for me that doesn't work. I'm just gonna wait, and superheroes, they all reset, so I don't really care too much. Meow. I hear you, Cheebs. I just fed you. Oh, I can tell I'm tired because I'm getting this really annoying thing where my left eye is sort of twitching. It's really distracting and aggravating. But I want to, like, put in some effort on this drawing and kind of have it, like, fleshed out more or less before I call it a night. And I'm having fun talking to all of you guys, so not in a hurry. If you have a mummy below your house, make sure not to buy at Lobster. Okay. Yeah, It Follows. I liked It Follows. I'm excited that there's going to be a She-Hulk TV show. I think that that's a really great medium for her. I hope that they really do play up the sort of weird law cases that she gets into. I think that that would both be a way to make it unique and to, you know, keep the budget reasonable and all. That, like, some of it, a lot of it's going to be taking place in, like, court. I don't know. I really like her courtroom battles. They're not, like Matt Murdock, Daredevil. His are sort of all realistic. They're crime based stories, but hers are more just like trying to rationalize how the law would deal with superheroes and supervillains, which is a fun mental exercise to engage in, and so I always like that aspect. You like my horse? Thanks, Gene. Thank you. Yeah, I want it to be sort of a law procedural, but funny. Who will they get to play the She-Hulk? That's a good question. That's a good question. The smart thing, I think, to do would be to try to find an actress who just happens to be really tall and ideally like pretty muscular, and just sort of work within that, as compared to doing it like a CG or very special effectsy thing. I think go ahead and tone it down, even if it's a little toned down from what we've seen in the comics. It's not as important that she be humongous. Gina Carano, but isn't she doing The Mandalorian? So I think she's kind of busy. I don't know that Gwendolyn Christie. She's tall and could be muscular, but I'm not sure if she quite has the look of who I think of for whatchamacallit, for She-Hulk. I don't know. The Rock can do no wrong. Let's hire The Rock. Will I do a Supreme episode, especially Alan Moore's part? I will consider it. I will definitely consider it. Is she going to be She-Hulk all the time like in the comics? To be decided. There's definitely been iterations where she goes, transforms back and forth, and there's been versions where she's She-Hulk all the time. I would like a version where she has to deal with being She-Hulk basically all the time. What I liked about that, too, was it sort of told us that, also something about the Hulk, Bruce Banner, which is that the Hulk literally is a different personality, and that the gamma radiation gave him superpowers, but dealt with an already fractured psyche that was not being, handled in a mentally healthy way. Because She-Hulk did not really get a second personality. I mean, she has been sort of savage and stuff, but most of the time she can have it under control. They said that Bruce Banner isn't going to appear in the show. No, actually, that's not what I heard. I heard that he will be in the pilot. I heard that they will have him in the pilot and explain that, they're cousins. And that they'll have, his blood set her up. I'm sure Mark Ruffalo would be down for it. He seems very happy to work on Marvel Universe stuff. Mark Ruffalo does like dump trucks of money. They could get a regular actress to play her in human form and someone else to play the She-Hulk. I mean, it's what they did on the original Hulk show, and, I thought it was plenty convincing at the time. Who knows? Who knows? Hey, cat. Whatever happened to Stephen Platt? That's a good question. He did sort of disappear from the industry after working with Liefeld for quite a while. I didn't follow his career. I'd have to do some research to know the answer to that. That's something I know off the top of my head. You're excited for Hawkeye? Well, there's a lot of that's up in the air right now that Jeremy Renner's been accused of abusing his wife and threatening to kill her, so we'll see. They may recast that role. You know what? It doesn't bother me to recast these roles. It doesn't, as long as they cast well. I didn't mind them recasting Hulk or War Machine. That was fine. Yeah, I've thought about doing a Go Nagai video at some point, so I will at some. It's worth doing. Oh, you guys didn't hear about the Jeremy Renner stuff? Yeah, his wife said that she threatened to kill the both of them. His family is okay right now. I mean, but that's not good. And Jeremy Renner's had some issues in the past and stuff. Yeah. I think he's a good actor. I sincerely do. But I don't know that he's the most stable individual. Yeah, if it's true, you can't keep him. If it's true. Yeah, you can look it up. I mean, I don't know what's been confirmed yet or not. I think it's just something that Marvel is quietly investigating to see how much truth there is, and if it's true, then he's gone. If it's not true, and his wife, his ex-wife, maybe is just saying this, it's a pretty serious allegation. Renner disputes it, yeah, but if somebody accuses somebody of something that serious, I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt unless there's a really good reason not to. I mean, I'm not surprised that he disputes it, but I'm going to wait and see. But I'll lean towards sort of saying it could be true, in which case, can't support that guy. This is a fun drawing to work on. This is got a lot of weird working parts to it. I think it's one that would benefit tremendously from some Copics to give this horse a really nice dark look. Wait, Jared Padalecki was arrested for assault? Ah, that's depressing. I like that guy. Or I did. I hope it wasn't anything super serious. I thought he had his stuff together. He was gonna star on the what do you call it? The reboot of Walker Texas Ranger now that Supernatural is wrapping up. I thought that guy had his head on his shoulders. At a bar, huh? Not good. Not good. Jeez. I always thought that guy was kind of innocent and wholesome and everything. So these actors can surprise you sometimes. They can let you down because they're not their characters, are they? I don't need people to be paragons of virtue per se, but there are definitely lines where, like, if they cross them, I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to enjoy that, like, or support that person. Like right now, I don't want to see anything with like, what's the actor's name? Kevin Spacey in it. Like, and he's been acting really weird ever since the accusations came out. So, like, you're not giving me any reason to believe you. God, got this weird long hair in the kneaded eraser. How did I do that? Yuck. Okay. Not threatening your spouse is not an unreasonable request. Exactly. It's not hard to just not physically assault someone. Not hard to just stay, you know what? I'm gonna not assault anyone. That's not a hard request. Exactly, Captain Negativity. I don't need somebody to be a perfect person. If they tell me that they do drugs or whatever, and they're like, that's fine. But if you're like beating women or something like that, or that's totally different. If you're drunk driving, you know, like there are certain lines where I'm just not going to forgive somebody. Anyway, kind of negative, I guess. Oh, he has anxiety and depression. I know all too well how tough that can be to deal with. James, that's a little bit of an understatement there. Scientology is a bit weird. It's certainly nothing I've been able to comprehend. I've read a bunch of books on it and seen some documentaries. I don't get it, but I have met Scientologists, and you know, business-wise, they seem to have their lives together. I don't understand the things that they believe in, but I do sort of believe that it can work for some people. So it's hard to say. I never heard that about Christian Bale, Iron Shell. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'll be honest, I never heard about that one. I think I'll be sure to blacken this certain area in complete shadow just so that I don't have to address anything about that. Isn't it so rude of horses to not wear pants? Don't they like ever consider that I might need to draw them later? Hey horses, how about you start wearing pants? I don't think that's too much to ask. No. If horses don't wear pants, I don't have to ride them. No. Do you agree David Bowie potentially could have been a great choker? Yeah, if he wanted to, that would have been amazing. It was amazing. Oh, I know what you're talking about there, Myopic Manatee. I'm pretty sure that article against Christian Bale came from, like, I believe his sister and his mother are, like, always trying to get money from him, and they've made several, like, proven false allegations against him. I'm not saying it is for sure fake, but I'm pretty sure I'm remembering that right, that, like, you know, like, they've made false claims against Christian Bale just to get money out of him. Which is sad, but something I would, like, believe in family doing here and there before, like, you know, complete strangers. Let's see. You remember the state sketch about pants? Yes! Totally remember it. Have you considered wearing pants? Pants, eh? That was so good because it was set to that awesome Breeders song. Those guys used some great songs. Man, I really liked the state back in the day. And I think it holds up as a pretty good absurdist comedy. There's not too many sketch shows that I like, but some of them I really like. I liked The State. I like Kids in the Hall. I love Monty Python. Mr. Show is way up there. Mr. Show might be my all-time favorite sketch show. And one that was sort of short-lived that was also, I thought, really, really good was The Ben Stiller Show. You don't remember that state sketch? It was Michael Ian Black is like hits on a girl and he's like, "Hey," and the girl's like, "Get lost." Ben Grant goes, "Hey buddy, mind if I give you a suggestion? Have you tried wearing pants?" And he's just like in like boxer shorts. He's like, "Pants, eh?" And it just like then it kicks into like a music video montage of him like shopping for pants and he can't figure out how to wear them or anything. That was good. Ben Stiller Show was good, yeah. Batman. Has anyone seen Batman? Gene's referring to the state before they were the state. Back when it was, you wrote it, you watch it. That was a sort of a sketch premise show hosted by Jon Stewart. That was like one of the first things he ever did. It was on MTV. Oh my God, that's so old. And what would happen is like people would like get like just normal ordinary people would get like interviewed and like tell stories, and then like sketch comedy teams would recreate the story as they told it, like, you know, like they'd fill in whatever details weren't there. And the state started by like doing sketches for that before they ever had their own sketch comedy show. I think they were even still literally in college, some of them, when they did that. Louis. I liked the Louis sketch where like they were commenting on like kind of the absurdity of recurring characters by putting the Louis in a sketch, and it was the Last Dinner of Christ and the Apostles, and Louis shows up. I want to dip my balls in it. The state. Now I want to just veg out watching tons of old state sketches. Teens and adults don't mix, Dad, 'cause I'm Doug, and I'm out of here. I love everybody. That's my thing. I love it. You guys remember the state. So good. It's pretty nerdy, but pretty fun to quote some of your favorite comedy. It's always been a big nerdy thing to like just quote stuff that already exists. You're not really doing anything constructive there, but boy is it fun. A trilogy of 5 books? Are you talking about Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, myopic? The kid who was taking money from his parents who thought he was in college and made him play piano. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Hey, Z Collects. She-Hulk, smash that like button. Thank you. SCTV, yeah. One of my favorite SCTV sketches is they're playing a song. It's supposedly like the recording of a song that Michael McDonald collaborated on, and I'm pretty sure it's a. Who was the song by? The actual song. It's not coming to me, but the gag is that like it just sort of follows Michael McDonald taking this long car ride while the song has already started, and eventually he just like comes into the control booth and just like goes like whoo, he just sings like a backup sort of thing like that, which is really like all he did in the song. And he leaves, he gets in his car, he starts driving away, and then like realizes something and like runs back, and he comes back in and he just does it again. He's like whoo. That was featured on Yacht Rock. Yeah, that was a real thing though on SCTV. It was really, really funny. I love Yacht Rock. I've seen Big Trouble in Little China. Very good. Yeah, James Gleason's talking about how John Candy started out on SCTV. Tons of guys did. Rick Moranis. Dave Stewart? I can't remember his last name all of a sudden. Who else was really good on SCTV? Catherine O'Hara. Joe. I'm forgetting all these guys' names. Who is Joe? Joe, come on. Eugene Levy. Why can't I remember Joe's last name? I keep thinking of him in his small role at the end of Back to the Future 2. Harold Ramis. SCTV was great. SCTV was... Dave Thomas, Joe Flaherty. Thank you, guys. I can always count on you to help me. Have you been able to figure out that I'm bad at names yet? Have you been able to figure that out yet? I haven't seen that show yet, Gene, but I've heard lots of good things about S's Creek. Yeah, he was the pharmacist on Grace Under Fire. Yep. Lot to like about SCTV. They were some funny folks. I love thinking of comedy. I love it. Yeah, there's a ton of the SCTV cast in heavy metal for some weird reason. Is SCTV where Martin Short got his start? Yeah, definitely. Trust me, they wanted to hire all those guys basically for Saturday Night Live, but a bunch of them were like, nah, not necessary, thanks. A couple of them did it, but not all. I'm surprised by your drawings in a good way. I'm going to read Stone Ocean now. Okay. I know what you were trying to type, Gene. 29 down, 2 to go. Way to go, Brian. Way to go. Washington Irving wrote the short story The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Sleepy Hollow? I don't get it. Oh, autocorrect got you? Okay, you meant Sleepy Hollow. I am baffled by typos. I work very hard to fix like autocorrects and stuff like that. So when I see a typo, I always tend to make the mistake of taking it literally, like that the person meant that, and then like they're like, no, that was an autocorrect mistake. I'm like, oh, of course. So there's some naivete on my part, but something I frequently make a mistake on. Oh, I figure people don't really mean to make mistakes. Now that we started talking about like SCTV, and I was remembering a specific sketch, somebody mentioned Yacht Rock, and now all I can think of is Sweet Freedom. Shine, sweet freedom, shine your light on me. Ocean Stone's your first contact with manga? Okay, that's cool. It's harder when you're responding and trying to type fast. Yeah. Well, don't type fast. Just take your time. There's no rush, man. Gonna redo this part. Just isn't looking right to me. So when I get there, I'm gonna redo it. I read a lot of Epic when I was a kid. That's cool, yeah. Will I consider doing a heavy metal comics episode? Yeah, I probably will at some point. I probably will. The closest I've come is in my Mobius episode, or as I pronounced it back then, Moibius, but at least everybody knew what I meant. I mentioned how he was one of the co-founders of the the magazine in France that became heavy metal over here. Metal Hurlant. I've read Battle Chasers back in the day, yeah. Back in the day. My neighbors have a life-sized, fully sculpted Headless Horseman in front of their house. What weirdos. What pervs. Why would you do that? Gene, I hope you don't have work tomorrow. I know it's really late your time. Always grateful to have you, though. You've been very supportive, tuning in a lot this year. Thank you. I don't know if I mentioned it, but my sister won a costume contest a couple days ago. She dressed as a tornado, and my mother dressed as a thunderstorm, and her husband dressed as like a weatherman trying to report on it. And that's just the overall premise, but they really knocked it out of the park with the execution, and they won a best group costume at a big event. So that's kind of cool, huh? You work in the evening tomorrow. Okay, fair enough. Well, I hope you can get some sleep. But yeah, she really knocked it out of the park with her costume. Like her tornado had lights, and it had like tiny little animals glued throughout that made it really look like they were all being suctioned up in a huge funnel of activity. Hi, Chibi. Yeah. Yeah, Jean made all 3 costumes. She's been on a creative tear lately. She's also been creating a lot of like these I can't quite call them paintings, but they're like framed art pieces anyway, for like an upcoming church fair. It's her donation, and what she does is she gathers smooth rounded stones and bits of glass and stuff that you would basically find on the beach. You know, she lives in a coastal town, and then she uses those like either stones or colored glass to form pictures, usually of animals or something. But like, you know, she's got like, you know, a blue whale with blue glass, or she used brown stones and then negative space to make a big giraffe. It's gorgeous stuff. Like, so she's been on this creative tear lately, creating all sorts of art. She made these costumes, and then she made like all this artwork. I think I don't know, you've always sort of, I think, thought that you weren't necessarily an artist, and I was, but I think you're at least as much of an artist. I hope I'm not misreading or misinterpreting that. You're really creating some gorgeous stuff, and I'm not just saying that. Like, I really like it. She made one for me a while back. I loved it. It's hanging on my mantle. I don't know that we're necessarily a family of artists. My mom likes working on sort of craft type projects here and there. My dad, not really much of an artist or anything. Not really. He likes, I don't know. You steal some ideas from Pinterest. Fair enough. You're still making it all yourself. You're not like tracing anything. But that's nice of you to like sort of own up where you're getting your inspiration from. It's still like the results are great. Really, really gorgeous stuff. Miss hanging out with you, Gene. Let me know if you want me to look for anything in particular from Japan. I'll be there pretty soon, so let me know if you want me to get you anything over there. I don't know what, but happy to look for whatever you can think of. Food, art, anything. Only the great creatives steal. Well, that has been said. That, like, you know, good people, like, good artists make good art, and great artists steal, or something like that. Clothes for Twiggy or cat clothes. Okay, if I see anything interesting in Japan for your animals, I will definitely do my best to go ahead and pick it up. I'll definitely keep it in mind. I have in the past, so. My sister's a big animal lover. She's got a big heart. And I appreciate that, because it's made me like animals more too. And I think that liking animals can make you a happier person. Being kind to like smaller creatures that can like benefit from our help and our love and attention. I'm not feathering this one quite right. Let me flip it like this and see if I can, yeah. It's a nice way of looking at things, yeah. A maid cafe? I don't think I have too much interest in going to a maid cafe. It doesn't really amuse me that much. Pandora was not good today. Well, she's an old lady now, huh? A couple jugs of sake? You can find sake here, Sheldon. but it's a fair question. I learned from Mr. Show that more money equals better than. Hey, that means I'm better than Abraham Lincoln. Yeah, and I'm better than you. Go to a puppy cafe? Maybe. Last time I was there, I did go to a kitten cafe, and that was fun. They had some pretty, like, interesting breeds there. That was really, really relaxing and fun. I've given some thought to going to an owl cafe, but I've heard that owls can be a little, like, kind of mean, so maybe it wouldn't be that much fun. I don't know. But they've got everything cafes over there, man. Kitten cafe is great. They like, you don't really get to, like, you're not supposed to pick them up, but you can, like, sit there, and if they climb onto your lap or something, that's totally fine. You're definitely allowed to pat them. You're just not supposed to, sort of chase them around and try to, like, pick them up or anything. And they have, like, these special little, like, doors throughout, like, the area that they can, like, sort of, like, walk through these tiny little doors, and then they'll be in, like, a back area where they can get, like, as much food and water as they want. It's kind of cool. Don't taunt the owls with my Tootsie Pops, but I need to know how many licks it takes to get to the center. I need to know. Mr. Owl, how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? Let's find out. 1, 2, 3. 3. Probably no one remembers that because, like, those are some pretty old commercials now. Cat cafes are cool. Okay, several people remember that. That's awesome. That's awesome. As soon as I said it, I was like, it might be a little dated. Because I was really young when that came out. And I felt like I was at the tail end. I was like, this commercial's probably been on the air forever. But yeah, it was an animated commercial about how many licks does it take to get to the center of a Tootsie Pop? The world may never know. Did anybody else, like, grow up by any chance, like, watching Bozo the Clown in their local market? Because, like, Bozo was, like, they'd have a different, like, guy dressed up as Bozo in whatever city you were in. And that was, like, a local TV show. And, like, the thing I liked about it was towards the end of every episode, Bozo the Clown would have, like, a big contest for, like, some kids in the audience, and the runner-up would always get this giant Tootsie Pop. And it was like a big plastic Tootsie Pop, and inside was, like, tons of Tootsie Pop candy. I don't know. I was, like, was fascinated by that as a little kid. I was like, oh, I just want the runner-up prize. Daffy teaching fire safety. That was a little later. He's like, hot water on a tender skin can really scald. I should be over there. I loved the PSAs that I grew up with. There was R2-D2 smoking a cigarette, and C-3PO finds him, and he's like, R2-D2, you found a cigarette. Well done, R2. Oh, hello. You know smoking isn't healthy, and it isn't very grown-up at all. So please, don't smoke. Woo! R2, do you really think I don't have a heart? If you don't know the commercial, I probably sound like an insane person. But it was really like C-3PO and R2-D2 teaching you that you should not smoke cigarettes. How could a robot smoke? I don't know, man. R2-D2 just had that, like, gripper arm, and he was just hanging out at the back of, like, a spaceship smoking a cigarette. C-3PO found him and scolded him. And R2-D2 decided to quit smoking on the spot. R2-D2 found a cigarette. Probably Anthony Daniels' best work ever. Bender smoked. Smoking is bad even for droids. Basically, they argue that, like, you know, C-3PO explains that it's, you know, bad for the lungs and the heart, and like R2-D2 beeps and whistles, and he's like, well, I know I don't have a heart, but humans do, and I think we should set a good example. That was their whole logic. I love those old public service announcements. There were all the singing ones by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, the Mormons. Those were pretty entertaining. There were ones like telling you, like, you know, like what kind of food to eat. Like, eat a super breakfast. Breakfast can't be beat. Eat at home and school for energy from your head down to your feet. I really flip for breakfast. You tell one lie, leads to another, then you tell two lies to cover each other, then you tell three lies. You're in trouble up to your ears. No one ever took Dare seriously. This is a little simplistic. A little simplistic. Marianne, I'm sorry I stole your necklace. I'm really sorry. The cheese song, yeah. Bang, bang, bang. Howdy, timer. You ever get that hungry feeling after school? Boy, I do. And if you want something delicious and nutritious, cheese is a super snack. It really isn't. When my get up and go has got up and went, I hanker for a hunk of cheese. A snackerdy's a winner, and yes, one's for my dinner. I hanker for a hunka, a slab, a slice, a chunka. I hanker for a hunk of cheese. Yahoo! You, alright? I learned it from watching you. When you're slow on the draw and you need something to chow, I hanker for a hunk of cheese. Appetite control, more protein. The Crying Indian, Picking Up by the Roadside. And by the way, that actor was actually Italian, not Native American. Can look that up. So that was pretty cool, huh? We're going to use like a Native American to talk about like how much we should not litter, and then we won't even hire a Native American to play the role. But I'm drinking milk, and pretty soon I'll be caught up to you. Don't be a yuck mouth. And if you don't brush your teeth, you'll get them too and be a yuck mouth. I remember all these, man. These were great. I sound like an idiot, but that's okay. I'm having fun. Milk does a body good. Yeah, Hollywood still doesn't hire too many native actors. It's too bad. Tomorrow is Injured. Ooh, that gives a lot of possibilities for like anything horror related. Injured, huh? I don't know. Maybe I'll draw like a victim from It Follows. They'd be like all mashed up. Conjunction, junction, what's your function? Reading and writing. I'm just an amendment to be, yes, an amendment to be, and I hope that they ratify me. Actually, I think that might be the Simpsons parody as compared to actual Schoolhouse Rock. I may have chosen too dark a color, like you lose like all sense of the line work that I put in underneath for sort of texture and stuff, but committed to it now. This is looking great. I'm going to head to bed. See ya, Brian. It is really late. Yeah, I did stand up a long time ago. A long time ago. Tonight, as the host, I made up one joke on. It was kind of like something that I was riffing on a couple nights ago, but it is like a real thing. So I talk about how horror movies, because we were seeing a horror movie. One thing I like about horror movies is their tagline. Some horror movies have some great taglines. One of my favorites was always Alien. It said, "In space, no one can hear you scream." You probably all remember that one. My favorite was a movie that I came across in college. It was a European horror film called The Lift, about a haunted elevator. That part is not the joke. That's just the truth. And on the box, for the lift, it said, take the stairs, for the love of God, take the stairs. And I remember the first time I saw that, looking at it and going, well, yeah, that's just common sense. That's good advice, actually. And I had trouble imagining how the movie would actually find a way to make a easily avoidable thing so scary. You know, like guy checks in at the front desk, hotel manager goes, all right, sir, you're gonna be standing. Let's see, we got a room for you on floor 3. Feel free to take your luggage up by the stairs. Then again, we do have an elevator. I do want to let you know it is haunted, and there's a good 9 out of 10 chance it will eat you or digest you in some supernatural way. But choice is yours, sir. And he's like, oh, thanks, man. You know, I do like the stairs and being safe, but kind of like me them odds. Reckon I'll take me the lift. I think every horror movie should end with the Law and Order dong dong sound. So that, like, you know that it's, like, just sort of the scene is over or something. You know, like, I'm just making this up now. It's just like, 9 out of 10, I'm in. Yeah. I like the idea, though, of, I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was riffing on. Completely lost my train of thought, which indicates that I'm pretty tired. That's okay. That is okay to be tired. Law and Order. That's right. I just like that dong dong sound. And I think it would be a pretty cool ending to a horror movie if, like, you know, like, I take your power away, Freddy. I'm not afraid of my nightmares anymore. No! Dong dong. Sort of ends abruptly. Imagine if, like, you stopped watching The Exorcist when Father Karras takes the demon into himself and he jumps out the window and falls down those iconic steps, and, you know, he sprawls out at the bottom of the steps dead. He's killed the demon, and he just goes dong dong. Scene ended. And scene. That would be another good way to end a horror movie, for the actors in it to just at the very end go, and scene. Crickets. Hey, they're not all winners. No, this marker is supposed to be a lighter color. That's okay. I'm intentionally drawing with a lighter color here. I'm going to jump back to something just a little bit darker. Kill Bill siren. So be sure to check out the Comic Tropes Twitter tomorrow. I'll also put a link out tonight, actually. And I will show what channel is debuting that movie that I have a small role in. Again, my role is really small, okay? So don't, like, It's not a Chris Pierce project. It's not a Comic Tropes project. But if you're curious, I would definitely love to see it get some support. So if you're curious, it's not super long. I think it's pretty cool. And I will be sharing the link to that channel. I'll share it tonight, and it will debut tomorrow at 8 p.m. There will be a premiere. So the writer, director, star, and several of us that worked on it will all be in that chat room as it premieres. So if you have a specific question about it as you're watching it, you can follow up with that and talk directly to the people that made it. So that's kind of cool, I think. Maybe I'll buy a horse tomorrow just so that I can, in the future, if I need to draw a horse, have a handy reference. Does that make sense? I think that that's a good idea. Just buy a horse. How much can they be? Like $300-400? I mean, they don't live forever or anything. When do I get my SAG card? No time soon. Do I think it was a good idea to put James Gunn in charge of Suicide Squad? On DC's part, absolutely. Absolutely. The first Suicide Squad was not very good. If they want to like have a chance of making the second one work, get somebody who's got some proven success within the world of superheroes. James Gunn has done quite well in that world. I'll be honest, I always thought he was going to just become sort of a schlock horror guy with his roots at Trauma and, you know, working on movies like the remake of Dawn of the Dead or, you know, Scooby-Doo and Slither, things like that. So. I mean, I think it was pretty obvious that Suicide Squad instantly decided it should have been like Guardians of the Galaxy as soon as they put out that trailer for the first movie, like first Suicide Squad movie. I mean, all that music and everything, and it tricked me. I really fell for it. I was like, oh, this movie's gonna be like all you know, goofy romp, and instead it was just a terrible slog. I did not care very much for that Suicide Squad movie. But I'm in for the second one. I'll give it a shot. It is not thrown away its shot. It is not thrown away its shot. You get it? It's like a reference to that really popular musical by Lin-Manuel Miranda. Timely. Like a 3-year-old reference. Yeah, that's what I excel in. Jared Leto was pretty bad as the Joker. I agree with that. My eyelids are so heavy. Gene, go to sleep. I want my eyelids are heavy. I want to go to bed too. What about me? What about me? I'm tired. A lot of TV shows feel like they've come back recently with sort of like, movie versions to sort of bolster them. There's been Downton Abbey was a huge success. Breaking Bad had El Camino, which gave huge ratings to, Netflix. It was really cool. I'm wondering if it would be a good idea to do a movie version of The Sopranos. They could dig up James Gandolfini's corpse and rig it up like a marionette so that he was just sort of shuffling around and Tony Soprano here, I'm back. I think that would be a really good idea. I have not done my Madman, although I talk a lot about Mike Allred in my episode about ecstatics. I'm not against the idea of doing Mad Men specifically, but I have not done that yet. Thanks, Gene. Tony isn't dead, but James sure is. Yeah, I know he is. All we'd have to do is just sort of rig up his corpse, and we could make a Sopranos movie to cash in on the public's love for nostalgia. Could be worth it. Could produce some good results. I think it's a good idea. I think HBO should cut me a check right now for such a good idea. Holy crap, this kid's right. Do it like a marionette puppet. You just have like all the surviving characters keep going, wow, Tony, you don't even have to say anything. I think I know what you're thinking. Tony, what you just told me just before this scene began makes a lot of sense. No, Gareth Edwards is not the director of Suicide Squad, I don't think. I don't know who did it. Gambit is one of the most overdone yet still incredibly one-note characters in Marvel. Yeah, they've never really added a whole lot to him. I mean, he's kind of a goofy, like, hey, enchanté, ma chérie. A little silly. Oh, Gambit, you so crazy. Who, me? I would totally start watching The Sopranos if Chris is the one directing it. Okay, you heard it, HBO. If you want access to my literally hundreds of followers, you're going to put me in as the director of a little thing called Sopranos. Get ready for the silliest version you've ever seen. Oh, sorry, I don't have a good Gambit accent, I guess. Enchanté. I think that that'll, for the most part, do it on this guy. Let's see. Oh, yeah, it's almost been 2 hours. I think that that's more than enough for, like, you know, a silly little sketch, especially when I announced at the beginning that I was beyond exhausted. I think that that's ending things on a strong note. Put it at, like, a little angle there so you can see everything. Thanks, everybody, for joining. This was a really fun one. It's going to be sad when I am not doing these daily, but I also will benefit personally from the extra sleep. Trust me, I definitely need it. In fact, I'm going straight to sleep as soon as I turn this off. I am done. I've had a very full day. Let me think. Like, how long have I been up? What time is it now? Okay, so I've been up 18 hours. A little more. A little over 18 hours. That's a pretty long day. That's a pretty long day. Still missing his head. Yup. Where's the head? You forgot to draw his head. Oh, you guys all got me. You were paying way closer attention than I realized. I thought I could get away with it. Nah, tonight's not bad. I don't love, like, I think that the pose on this guy's okay. I didn't do too much in terms of detail. I guess I wasn't overly focused on, like, you know, the person, and maybe I could have, like, thought through some more shadows on him, but I was more interested in drawing a really detailed vibrant horse. That was what the idea in my head was, and I had fun, like, sort of working on some of these feathering techniques that I utilized throughout. So I don't know if it's perfect, but it was a good experience. It was a good experience. Leg muscles on point. I think overall the leg muscles, I think I got pretty well. Did I shade them all exactly, like, consistently? I don't know. That's something I'd need to think about. At first glance, though, I don't think it looks bad. No, I didn't draw the big old horse wiener. I decided to put that in shadow. So anyway, well, thanks for the compliments, folks. That's appreciated. Didn't give him a pumpkin or anything like that, but I'm gonna take off and let's just real quick check the prompt tomorrow. I think somebody earlier said that it was injured. I'm just double checking on that. Here's the prompt list, and yeah, wow, we're down to 3 drawings I've got left: injured, catch, and ripe. No, this is not a mare. This is a Tennessee stud. No, it's not a Tennessee stud. It's Stark. I mapped it out, like, where the horse dong would be, and decided I can get away with putting that all in shadow. I think that works. And I think I did it. Injured. Chucky. Yep. I could draw almost any horror movie character for that. I'll give it some thought. I'm going to take off, guys and gals. Appreciate it, everybody. You've all been fantastic. I want you to keep reading comics. I'll see you tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye.